Rain fell steadily as Dunc dug a grave for the old knight he had served. His master was gone, and standing over the freshly turned earth, Dunc let the grief pour out of him. He spoke quietly to the man he had followed for years, telling him how much the loss hurt and making a simple promise he would look after the horses. It was the only thing left he could do. Come morning, Dunc sat with the question of what came next. With no master to follow and no direction handed to him, he had to choose his own path. He packed up, gathered the horses, and set off. By the time evening arrived, he had reached a roadside inn. He handed the animals over to a young boy working there and went inside to eat. The woman running the kitchen listed what she had, and Dunc told her to bring all of it. While he ate, an old man at another table fixed his eyes on him and claimed he had seen Dunc in a dream. He offered a warning before Dunc could ask what kind. Later, checking on the horses, Dunc found the boy playing around with them instead of minding them properly. He called the boy out on it. The boy looked him up and down and said plainly that Dunc didn't look much like a knight. He asked whether Dunc was heading to the tourney, and before Dunc could answer, the boy was already begging to come along as his squire. Dunc turned him down, flipped him a coin for his trouble, and rode on. The next day brought him to the city where the tournament was being held. He rode up to the gate and asked to be admitted. The guard asked his name. Dunc told him he had served as squire to Sir Arland of Penetree. The guard's expression didn't change, the name meant nothing to him. He explained the rules bluntly. To enter the lists, Dunc needed someone of standing to vouch for him. And if he competed and lost, his horse and armor would be forfeit to whoever beat him, unless he could buy them back. Dunc met his eyes and told him losing wasn't something he planned on doing. He went looking for Sir Manfred, hoping the knight might agree to sponsor him. A woman at the tent told him Manfred was sleeping. She looked Dunc over curiously, asked if he had a wife, and remarked that he carried a sadness about him. Dunc left without an answer and led his horse through the tournament grounds. He came across two brothers in the middle of a fight, the older one putting the younger one, Raymon, firmly on the ground and mocking him for it. Raymon got up twice and got knocked down twice. When it was over, Raymon spotted Dunc and made a joke of challenging him to a bout. Dunc didn't take the bait. He treated the young man with more dignity than his brother had and moved on. He found a place to clean up, washing himself and his clothes before heading back to try Sir Manfred again. The same woman greeted him with the same answer, still sleeping. This time she led him to a tent to wait, and what he found inside stopped him cold. Sir Manfred was in the middle of receiving a massage, entirely unbothered by the interruption. When the two of them laughed at Dunc's expression, he pushed back, telling them plainly what he thought of the scene. The woman softened and apologized, then suggested, not unkindly, that Dunc might benefit from taking better care of his own body. Left to his own devices, Dunc wandered until he found a puppet show drawing a small crowd. He stopped to watch and found himself genuinely drawn in by the performer's skill. Walking back afterward, he heard Raymon call out to him. The two fell into conversation, and Raymon let some of his bitterness show. He had strong feelings about a cousin and wasn't shy about saying so. Dunc reminded him quietly that he was only a squire, not someone in a position to act on grudges. Raymon took no offense and invited him to dinner. Inside the tent, over a meal of roasted chicken and sweet cakes, Dunc spotted someone who might be able to help him, a man who seemed to carry some weight in the room. He approached him and asked directly for help getting onto the tournament lists. The man asked if Dunc was frightened. Dunc said yes honestly. The man nodded and mentioned he owed someone a favor, the implication being that Dunc might benefit from that debt. Later, the man took Dunc along to a dance, and afterward, as the evening wound down, the two of them kept talking. The man put a question to him: what chance did a lone knight truly have in a tournament like this? Dunc admitted he had no idea. The man answered his own question quietly. He said the only thing he knew for certain was that there was real honor in testing yourself, regardless of the outcome. Dunc found Sir Manfred once more and asked for his support directly. Manfred refused. He said he had no memory of Sir Arland of Penetree, that the name didn't ring any bells at all. He explained that Dunc's master had died of a wound, but beyond that he simply couldn't place the man. Without that recognition, there was nothing he could do. Dunc left empty-handed. Heading back through the grounds, he came across a familiar face, the boy from the inn, the one he had turned away. The boy was crouched over a small fire, turning a fish on a spit, looking entirely at ease with himself. Dunc asked how he had gotten there. The boy said he had hitched a ride on a cart carrying lambs. Dunc sat down beside him and found himself opening up about the difficulty he was having. When he asked the boy his real name, the boy shrugged and said nobody used it. Everyone just called him Egg. Dunc looked at him for a long moment. The boy had followed him all this way on his own, without being asked, without being wanted, and without complaining. There was something in that. Dunc made a decision. Egg could stay. He would serve as his squire. With that settled between them, the two of them lay down beside the dying fire and went to sleep.